David Begnaud is in Biloxi, Mississippi, where nearly 9 inches have fallen so far. David, walk us through what you're seeing.
Well, Meg, the water has risen here where we are overnight. It is flowing into areas it should not be going. You've got throughout this area flooding in low-lying areas. This is the threat, Meg. This is what the National Weather Service says you need to be worried about. It wasn't so much a wind event, it was a flood event, and it happened.
David, as you mentioned, this is a flood event, and landfall may have just happened, but Cindy's been hitting the Gulf Coast for days. Why is that?
Well, because this thing is so big. I mean, consider this. You're going from Houston all the way to the Florida Panhandle in Pensacola. That's how big the effects of this storm are. And 48 hours before landfall happened in southwestern Louisiana, we were getting outer rain bands from this storm rotating onshore. So some areas along the Gulf Coast, Meg, have been seeing rain for more than 2 days.
What kind of damage is this flooding causing?
Look, I'd say moderate. There has been no major damage. Some people will tell you, hey, I haven't seen anything where I am. It's been spotty. But in certain areas where we are, up to a foot. I mean, listen, there's a river, Meg. The Biloxi River was at a foot about 36 hours ago, and it went up to 21 feet.
Wow.
Okay? That's how dramatic it's been. We had a man who just drove by here who said, hey, the good news is at least I knew it was coming. And that's the thing with tropical weather. You get a heads up that it's coming. If you live in Oklahoma, you may not know that a tornado's coming, and you get a 1-minute warning or even no warning. With tropical systems, meteorologists can tell us 3, 4, 5, 6 days out, hey, by the way, here's the cone, the path it's going to take. But Meg, the National Weather Service has said don't pay attention to that cone. And this is why. Even though landfall was in southwest Louisiana, the strongest effects have been here in Mississippi and all the way into Florida. So that's why that cone, that path that it was going to make landfall was not the most important. Here's what we need to look out for today. Flash flooding, it could happen in 7 of the deep southern states. Places everywhere from Houston to Memphis to Pensacola could see flash flooding. The kind of flooding that starts here, it's gone, and if you drive through it, it can be deadly.
All right, still need to stay on alert. David Begnaud for us in Biloxi, Mississippi. Thank you.
You bet.